Welcome back. And, you've got those developments with regard to sugar exports. There is a ban now on sugar exports till the 30th of September. And that ban, of course, has a couple of exceptions. Let me bring on board Praful Vithalani, who's the chairman of AISTA. And we also have Atul Chaturvedi, who's the executive chairman, Sri Renuka Sugars, joining us live this morning to give us a perspective on how they're looking at this. Mr. Vithalani, let me come to you first. A very good morning to you as well, Mr. Chaturvedi. But Mr. Vithalani, give us a sense first off. Is this a cause of pricing concern? Is it supply in the market which is proving to be the headwind? What's playing out?
This is not the pricing concern at all.
Okay.
Because government is very well aware that industry is asking to increase the MSP of rupees 31 per kg to 41 per kg. And the prevailing price in Maharashtra is 37.90 to 38.40. So it is still below the cost of production as such, we can say, or against the industry's demand. Now, as far as government policy, as far as sugar sector and sugar industry is concerned, they have highest priority first for the domestic availability. Second is ethanol excess, if anything. And if then any excess is there, that is given to exports. So government, actually the thing is that current situation of war, the Brazil, which always have highest exports from their country, they are diverting. Their season is already started more to the ethanol use instead of sugar. So the international experts and the research houses in last 48 hours have predicted world surplus to world deficit. And to take care of the domestic availability, this export ban is looked by the government. Though the government detailed explanations awaited, at that same time, this 15 lakh ton which was allowed for exports, of that, there are exporters who have purchased the quota of one sugar mill to swap to the other sugar mill. That policy, generally they clear within 8 to 15 days. But 2.3 lakh ton exports permission, which were sought on last week of the March, these they didn't consider for 1.5 months till and yesterday this notification. So it seems that government is well balancing the demand and supply, and I think we should not have a surprise of banning this export, because government must get good data of dispatches for the domestic dispatches and production, which was earlier, sugar production was estimated at 31.5 million metric ton. That has came down to 28. So it's already 3.5 million metric ton down in this season than the beginning exports, beginning estimates. So it's a precautionary step. I don't think more than that as such.
Right. Mr. Chaturvedi, how are you reading into the rationale for this?
No, whatever Praful Bhai says, I ditto whatever he said.
Right.
But as far as the industry is concerned, it was practically writing on the wall. Because what the government had done in the last month and a half or 2 months was that swapping quotas, they were not releasing. So the thinking as far as the government is concerned was very clear that they were worried on account of sugar stocks getting depleted within the country. And as Praful Bhai rightly pointed out, the original estimates of the production have come a cropper. In fact, the production has actually plummeted down to less than 28 million tons, and it could actually be something like 27.75 million tons. And with food inflation moving northwards, this was very much on the cards. In fact, we were advising all our acquaintances that in your export contract, you must add the line, it depends on the government's policy. so that you don't get into a trouble at a later date. So my take is it's on the right track. As far as domestic availability is concerned, there is no issue because even at 27.75, our consumption is adequately covered. But having said this, I think as far as export is concerned, our back of the envelope calculation tells us that anything between 8 to 9 lakh tons may actually have gone or maybe in the process of going out. So that would mean that the closing stock, which was estimated at around 4.5 million tons earlier, may actually come down to less than 3.5 million tons. So that is what is probably worrying the government. And with El Nino showing no signs of relenting, and next year's crop question marks because of the rain gods being not Indian this time round. So I think all these things would have prompted the government to take the decision. Yep.
But Mr. Chaturvedi, what could be the impact on global sugar prices?
Global sugar prices should start moving up a bit because as Brazil is also now looking seriously at ethanol, diverting more sugar towards ethanol. European crop numbers look to be coming down. And Europe, somebody is saying that, analysts are saying that it could be down by about 12 to 13%. Same seems to be the case as far as Thailand is concerned. And the lower sugar values internationally have actually prompted the Thais to start diverting more towards cassava, which probably is giving better returns. So overall, the world, which was supposed to be in surplus, now is being talked about as being in deficient. So could be anything between 1.5 to 2 million tons deficit. But in any case, the bearishness is over as far as international sugar is concerned, but whether it will be very bullish, that's a question mark. So probably it's going to be range bound. Yeah.
Mr. Chaturvedi, do you think government may revisit this export ban maybe a few months down the line if you see some improvement in monsoon or for that matter international geopolitics?
Honestly speaking, I don't think there will be any rethink because sugar is not the only food component which seems to be moving northward in terms of inflationary impact. So, and food prices are definitely moving northwards. And all this is, we do not have an idea as to when the Gulf War is going to end. And with crude prices being what they are, and the energy shock within the country likely anytime now, and the Prime Minister also talking in terms of austerity measures. All these things, I don't think the government is going to rethink on this at this point of time or in the next foreseeable future. Yeah.
Mr. Vithalani, let me come back to you with regard to the weather and how that could play a spoil sport. How much of this is an outcome of the pessimism around what the weather gods could actually do in this monsoon season? And what are you penciling in and what's the industry penciling in terms of preparation for this?
Yeah, see, actually, as far as plantation is concerned, that is being already done. And we have to see the monsoon and the way IMD and they have made some precautionary statement on El Nino. So the government, yes, definitely is looking that this El Nino can in Maharashtra and UP, certain part of UP also, El Nino risk is we have already penciled. And because of that, government, I think, get this step to stop the exports. But I will definitely admire the government steps that we doesn't failure to the international market. The ships which are there already and which is already on boarding and everything, they are being allowed. Earlier, once Chidambaram time, it was banned and nothing was allowed to move. So it was a different concern. This is a different concern. And I personally, in AISA, we have given three, advisory from January, March, and April. That what Atul Bhai has said, that you should have your contracts be written subject to government policies.
Right, gentlemen, both of you, thank you so much for your time today, Mr. Praful, as well as Mr. Chaturvedi. Great speaking with you and getting in that clarity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.